day. We walked in the garden as the garden, in the cool quiet of the day.
Breath was in us, living as us. It was a beautiful place to stay.
But there came a time we listened to wrong voices, teachers who led us astray,
and we fell in our awareness of who breath, and we always were that day.
Something happened, something shifted. They told us to stay away.
Not breath, not Father, not Elohim, but they told us anyway.
They said we were not holy, they said we were sinners. They even said messengers stood
Guard at the gate to keep us out forever.
Yep, they told us to stay away. They told us to stay away. They said we had done something wrong, and we believed what they would say. They filled us up with guilt and shame. They taught us how to fear. So we walked away from the garden, though we were always there. Yep, they told us to stay away.
But none of that was ever true. Those messengers were never against us.
They spoke of two with flaming swords,
but that was never to condemn us.
what was really in their hands?
Not weapons meant to harm, but the Logos, word of life, calling us back to where we belong.
Yep, they told us to stay away. They told us to stay away. They said we had done something wrong, and we believed what they would say. They filled us up with guilt and shame. They taught us how to fear. So we walked away from the garden, though we were always there.
There were so many stories told, so many years of lies.
Don't come near that mountain, they said, or surely you will die.
They told us we were not holy, said stay back, don't come near. But that mountain was a place of learning, not a place of fear.
They built up walls and curtains, said only one could enter in.
If you're broken, stay outside. If you've got any kind of blemish or sin,
Blind or lame or different,
they said you don't belong.
but there were so many places we had been in all along. Yet they told us to stay away. They told us to stay away. They said we had done something wrong, and we believed what they would say. They filled us up with guilt and shame. They taught us how to fear. So we walked away from the garden,
Though we were always there.
but we ain't afraid no more.
We've come back to that place,
Listen to the voice of truth,
calling us by name.
we're climbing up that mountain now.
No guilt, no shame, no fear.
We belong in that holy place.
We've always been right here.
Yep, they told us to stay away.
But we ain't listening no more.
They told us to stay away.
But we know it's true for sure.
They said we had done something wrong,
but that never shut the door.
we don't carry guilt or shame.
We don't believe that anymore.
There's nothing left to fear.
We don't walk away.
We've always been in the garden, no matter what they say.